Hello everyone, welcome to this video of Basic Electrical Engineering. In this video, I am going to explain the first concepts of the subject DC circuits, where Ohm's law, Kirchhoff voltage law and Kirchhoff current law are going to be discussed in this video. First, let us see Ohm's law. This Ohm's law is given by a scientist, Simon Ohm. He is a German physicist, investigated the relation between the current and voltage in a current carrying conductor, which will be having a resistance. So it is derived in the year 1827. So let us understand Ohm's law. This is the supply voltage we have given. Let me call it as V. The arrow mark here indicating this is variable. We can increase or decrease the voltage. And here is the resistor or the resistance of a conductor, we can say. To measure the current flowing through this, we have an ammeter here. Here ammeter is going to measure the current, we call it as I. And voltage across the resistor will be measured by an voltmeter. So we have connected voltmeter across this resistor, that is V. So what happens when this V increases from 0 volts? From 0 volts and above, if we increase this voltage, this current also increases, which is flowing through the resistor. That's why if V increases, current I also increases. The graph, if we plot, it will be continuously increasing like this. And what happens if we decrease the voltage? If we decrease the voltage, current also decreasing. That's why even in this quadrant, if voltage reduces, current also reducing. By looking at this, what we say, the current which is flowing in the conductor is directly proportional to the voltage, or voltage is directly proportional to current, we can say. So another parameter here we need to look at is resistance. Here if we keep the constant current, and if the resistance is variable, we say the voltage is increasing as resistance increases with a constant current. If constant current and resistance is decreasing, voltage also reducing. So by this we can write the expression V is directly proportional to I into R. To equate this, we need to put a constant of proportionality, that is K. What is K here? If the current flowing through the circuit is 1 amp and voltage is 1 volt and the resistance is 1 ohm, here it is ohm here, this K becomes 1. Means what it is indicating means V is equal to IR when the physical condition of the conductor remains constant. When the physical condition is constant, means the temperature and the pressures are constant, we can say K is equal to 1. So the expression becomes V is equal to IR. The statement says the physical conditions of the conductor remain constant. Voltage across the terminals of a conductor is proportional to current flowing through it. Or we say that the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its ends, provided the temperature and other physical conditions remain unchanged. So the final expression for the Ohm's law says V is equal to IR when other conditions are assuming constant. And we can relate this Ohm's law with a triangle representation. This region is V and these two are I and R. If we want to write an expression for V, it is just I into R. If we want to write an expression for I, it is V divided by R. If we want to write R, it is V divided by I. This is how we can understand Ohm's law. So there is an animation here to represent Ohm's law. This is an water container or the reservoir, we say. There is a small hole or the gap given for the water flow. What happens if the water level in the reservoir increases? Here the pressure increases or the amount of water flow increases. Here water is V, means the potential what we have given is the voltage. If voltage increases, the amount of current flow increases. This is what the representation of Ohm's law. Next we have power expression, power of that particular power dissipated across the resistor. So if we take the resistor R, and we know that P is equal to V into I. Power expression is voltage into current. So voltage into current gives the power dissipation in any circuit. We know that with this V is equal to I into R. if we replace that V by I into R, it becomes P is equal to I square R. This is another expression for power dissipation. And we can write I as V divided by R. If we replace this I by V by R, it becomes P is equal to V square divided by R. This is another expression for power, and power will be expressed in watts always. Next we will see Kirchhoff laws. We have two laws given by Kirchhoff for analysis of circuit. One is Kirchhoff voltage law. What Kirchhoff voltage law says? The algebraic sum of all branch voltages around any closed loop. We need to understand here, around any closed loop of a network is 0. Means if we take the sum of all branch voltages in a loop of network, we say the total is 0. Or the sum of voltage rises and the drops in a closed loop will be equal to 0, or it will be equal. So let us understand. This is the circuit. Here we will be having 3 resistors connected in series. Let me take it as R1, R2, R3. The voltage drops across the resistor is V1, V2, V3. We say if we connect a resistor like this, the voltage is going to be drop over here. So V is equal to the current flowing through the resistor and the resistance I into R. Similarly here also. So if we apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law for this, we need to consider only the voltages. The supply voltage is V here, and the voltage drop in resistor R1 is V1, and resistor R2 is having a voltage drop of V2, and resistor R3 will be having a voltage drop of V3. How to apply Kirchhoff voltage law? It is, if we start from here, this end, we are going in this way, so the current flow will be in this direction. That's why if we are going from plus to minus, means here voltage is dropping. That's why I am taking minus V1. Again we are going from plus to minus, here voltage drop here, that's why minus 2. Again I am going in this direction, plus to minus, it is minus V3. So current will flow in this direction through the power supply. It is going from minus to plus. Here power rises, that's why I am taking it as plus V. So the total of this will be equal to 0. This is how we need to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to any loop. If we start from this end, we need to come to that end finally. So this is the Kirchhoff voltage law expression. In other way, if we say the total voltage drops will be equal to total voltage rises. Here the potential or the power supply is a voltage rise, considered as voltage rise. All the resistors we will be having are reducing the voltage, or the voltage is going to be reduced here. So that is voltage drops. So if we add these three, it will be equal to the voltage rise. This is voltage rise, and these three are voltage drops. So V1 plus V2 plus V3 is equal to V. By taking the values, if we have a 6 volt of power supply and 2 volts is the voltage drop here, 3 volt is the voltage drop here, 1 volt is the voltage drop here, and the current flow will be in this direction. If we apply KVL, it is 6 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 1. Or if we use this method, it is minus 2, minus 3 and minus 1 and plus 6, it will be equal to 0. This is how the KVL can be applied to any loop. Now let us understand Kirchhoff's current law. Kirchhoff's current law deal with the currents in the circuit. The algebraic sum of all the currents terminating at one node, at A node. At A node means particular node is concerned, it is equal to 0 at any instant of time. So algebraic sum of currents at a particular terminal or node will be equal to 0. Or we say sum of all currents entering a node equals to sum of currents leaving the node. So let us understand with an example. This is the circuit. Here we call this as a node, where 2 or more wires are connected, or 2 or more branches are connected. We say this is node. In this node, the direction of current coming from this end is in this way. It is leaving current in I2. I3 is also a leaving current. I4 is coming into the node. I5 is going out of the node. So if we add all these, I1 is the current coming into the node. We need to add this with I4, since I4 is coming into the node, I2 is minus I2, it is going out. Similarly, I3 is going out, I5 is going out. So totally it will be equal to 0. In other words, the total currents coming into the loop I1 and I4 will be equal to the total currents leaving the node, that is I2, I3 and I5. So this is how we can apply Kirchhoff current law to identify the total currents in the circuit. Thank you.